Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namah. Yathagnirdahika shaktihi Ramakrishnye stita hiya Sarva vidya swarupam ta Sharadam pranamamyaham. Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Namaste to you all. The world is facing great calamities. Wars are going on. We are silently witnessing. Now our present duty is to just pray, to give them all strength who are suffering, and to give peace to this world, bring everything in a harmonious way of living with mutual love and peace. While praying, we must be absolutely neutral, not taking any side anytime. Because taking side, you cannot pray to God. You must be in a saintly awareness of yourself. That is, a silent witness of how the people are suffering, without the understanding of right and wrong, without the awareness of good and bad, just to look at the suffering of mankind. And not only mankind, so many animals, insects, birds, all beings are being in trouble. Just to see, look, and just pray silently, joining your head to the heart. No reasoning, just a saintly love for all beings of equanimity and purity of heart. So this is all that we have to do. Every morning, every evening, whenever you become aware of things going on, you can just understand the situation. I understand, because I was in forest. 4.5 years, I was alone in the forest where no human existence was there for years, 4.5 years. Once in 3 months, a forester is to bring me and give me some food to preserve and eat. And it so happened, almost 2 years have passed, there was forest fire. And coming to know that there is a forest fire, a caretaker was sent to my kutia in the forest. And the forest fire was just 5 kilometers away in the morning. By evening, it has reached almost a furlong away from the kutia. Everywhere smoke was filled, and we had no other way to run from that place. We ran for miles together to escape from the forest fire. After running for a mile or 1.5 miles, non-stop, there is no water with us, thirsty, we are running, we saw fire from the front. We did not know where to go. We turned another direction where there was no fire and started running. And after running a kilometer or two, we saw heavy smoke coming and fire burning heavily. That warmth and the heat can be felt. We could not go ahead. We turned and started running in some other direction. After running so many hours, a small vent we got out. We saw where there was no fire or fire on the either side, and there was a small gap in between of a land where there was no trees. We rushed through that and came out of the forest fire. And you can imagine how people run, how people feel, that breath, how to run without that water, even a drop of water for hours together. So that just you can feel that how these things would happen. Anyway, that your heart must silently pray without seeing any difference, taking any party, right or wrong, nothing. Just a stately heart that weeps for the suffering of all beings, not only mankind. So we will pray every day till all things calm down. But from ancient times we have been seeing somewhere or other these wars will be going on. We will have continuous prayers for the welfare of this whole universe, humanity, and peace everywhere. All right. We'll enter into this subject. Last class, we have been discussing about the civilization and culture. The difference between civilization and culture, we dealt almost in extreme detail. One, civilization, how to live in this world, and culture, how to be happy and joyful. So civilization, this now I am going back to the last class portion, the total highly polarized difference between the culture and civilization that we see, the distinction, we can see that what is it going to give us, which is the culture is the basis of spirituality and is the end point of culture. Spirituality is the end point of culture. So this spirituality we were contemplating upon, and the civilization is external and materialistic, whereas the culture is internal. It is not concerned with the external. Culture is internal and spiritual. Civilization expands horizontally, and culture ensures vertical growth of spiritual life. This we saw in our last class, and great civilizations of the world from the ancient times we see has given us utilitarian knowledge as well as civic services, what all you want, all material pleasures and comforts it is giving to us. But all these are short-lived. They come and go and create bondage, dependence, and slavery. Every day we are becoming slave of the things that we are witnessing. No, we cannot live without it like that. We are becoming slowly dependent and slave to our own senses and external materialistic world. So this is what we see, and great cultures on the civilization and culture. Great civilizations have contributed to our materialistic welfare. The same way culture have contributed to refined humanity. It has a finely grown humanity with spiritual growth, by which man enjoys peace, bliss, and total internal freedom that we saw, and it builds up in society, it builds up mutual love, mutual understanding, mutual trust, and harmony. This we saw, and culture is, especially for most of the people, 99% of the people are in the bodily awareness of existence and running after the enjoyments. All beings, I am body. The moment they wake up, they are bodies. So for them, slowly this culture gives us the spiritual identity that also we saw in our last class. And that culture flows from generation to generation with spirituality as its important content. And we saw Schaffner telling men are 1,000 times more intent on becoming rich than acquiring culture, though it is sure and known to everyone that what man is contributes more to his happiness than what he has. The statement we have discussed in the last class, and people have that the ancient people, they had the clear understanding and conviction that man is divine. Man is divine and his intellect is also divine. Of course, in ancient times also we see intellect used for harmful purposes, not out of greed or enmity or hatred or anything, but out of necessities for self-protection they might have used. But here now modernity, what is making is, the civilization is making man out of hatred, greediness, enmity, all these we are utilizing all of civilized states of science, engineering and technology. Though they were, actually they knew, they were the people who knew the value of culture, and we see this divine awareness always moved with them. This is what we saw in our last class. Now we'll go ahead with our present class. The spiritually oriented mind, human mind, when it is spiritually oriented, always we see it is materially oriented and not spiritually oriented. When mind becomes a kind of maturity dawns in human awareness, it starts slowly moving towards the spirituality. Spirituality is where all differences dissolve and we are able to manifest our divine nature. The divinity from within we are able to manifest. This is spirituality. We, instead of becoming too much intensely body, we become spirit, spiritual and material. We have two existences, bodily existence and spiritual existence. Spirituality is to move towards the my real existence, which is bliss, love, peace, absolute. So, if I am spiritually oriented, I am always at internally peace. I am experiencing unknown joy within, the great calmness at all times, irrespective, and world doesn't disturb me, give me any problem. So this is spiritual orientation. The spiritually oriented man, he is always peaceful, enlightened, happy, and brings stability to the society also. The early humanity was therefore less intent on making material developments. It was not material development that they were interested in, but on improving the spiritual conditions and paid more attention to be united and happy, united and happy. When we become individuals, bodily oriented individuals, we become separate from all others and live a small life of my family, that's all. But when it becomes spiritual, it expands. I want to be united. Unity. Whatever you are, we live in unity. So this united living and happy living was their aim, not materialistic developments. The uncivilized, but we call them uncivilized. Thus, we see, those people knew better and clear, and they had the clear understanding and value of culture, and also, of course, material life, material needs are there. To the extent it is unavoidable for our living, the rest was the cultural development, the main content of culture is spirituality. That is, whether it is play or it is dance or arts or sculpture or whatever it is, literature, religion, all these are parts of culture. All these ultimately is meant to lead man to the spiritual existence of everlasting peace, bliss, and love absolute. So that is how the culture, we have been studying in deep culture, and here we see the understanding of God. Usually from our childhood we have heard how the God concept came into human mind. Why people started worshipping something called God. What we heard from childhood is that they were afraid of nature's terrible nature, cyclones, lightning, heavy rains, all these tortures by nature. Nature is very harsh sometimes. Floods, earthquakes, all these. And because of that fear, what's going to happen? Then death, they see around death. People dying, suffering, diseases, all this, because of that, they started worshipping a thing called God. It was for seeking help, but it was not. It was never. Because the man's very existence is divine. His inner content is divine. He is divine by himself. From ancient times, the understanding, I was in forest, I saw Adivasis who have not been taught anything about religion or anything. They have an understanding, beautiful understanding and rapport with the nature. They don't harm any being unnecessarily. Even I saw ants and mosquitoes, when they sit on their bodies, they drive away. We kill them. They drive away. That much of harm they are not ready to do. They don't cut a tree unnecessarily. And with necessity also, they see it can be avoided. To that extent. Because inside is nature, which understands the nature. Intelligence is there. And human, by maximum manifestation of consciousness, Chaitanya, is there in human. Animals are also having conscious. Birds, insects also are conscious beings. But the degree of consciousness they express and they reveal is very little. Plants, they are not aware of the external world at all. They are unconscious of the external world, but understand the pain and pleasure. Somebody watering a plant, how happy it feels. Somebody plucks its leaves, how painful it feels. That feeling is there, but they don't have senses to experience the external world. Little consciousness, the maximum consciousness, the Chaitanya, expression of Chaitanya is there in humans alone. So this innate spiritual awareness, which is hidden behind all the layers covering our soul, wants to manifest, express itself outward. From there, it emerged the awareness of spiritual existence, spirituality, God and religion. And also, on the other side, they were culturally growing. The cultural growth also made them to slowly stretch into the world beyond in which we are living. So this we see in the ancient people slowly growing and emerging out. Plato says, soul culture is the first and fairest thing that the best of men ever had and can ever have. How beautifully the words are set, you see. The soul culture, culturing soul culture. External culture is one thing that we see in soul culture. That is how from the bodily existence, the spiritual existence emerges out. Like from the hard trunk, slowly the bud emerges. From bud, the flower emerges. Like that. Soul culture. What do we do? Put manure, this, that, everything, water, wait for the season, and all that ultimately makes us to bring out that flower. Like the soul culture is the first and the fairest thing that the best of men in the whole of our past history ever had and can ever have. Culture is born of meditation. Culture is born of meditation means I am taking a subject in which I am trying to get lost myself is meditation. Contemplation, thinking, imagination. Imagination is the lowest thing, function of the mind. A little ahead is designing this and taking. Then contemplation. I am taking a feel. Meditation. I am focusing my whole attention and in such a way that I am getting lost myself. That is meditation. Two is meditation on best that has been done and thought in the past. From the ancient times, people have whatever good they have told, highest thing, they have best of the things they have given to the highest values of life, highest ideals of sacrifice and universal love, infinite tolerance and effort to serve others, and all these are the best of the things that to contemplate or meditate on the best that has been said and thought on ultimate problems of life, on ultimate problems of life. We have a lot of problems. What is meant by ultimate problems? Ultimate problems of life. Now, generally, the main problems were how to sustain life in this world. Where can I get my food and other things, needs of my life, is the basic thing that I search for. This is one of my problems, how I sustain my life. Then how I face difficulties in my life and how I receive shocks in my life. Then I seek security. You see, I need security to overcome fear. How to live with others. All these are my primary and lower concerns of life or problems of life. What are the higher concerns? What are the higher problems of life? The ultimate problem of life, he says, contemplate on what has been said and thought by those people of from the ancient times, what has been to meditate upon them is culture. Now, this ultimate problem of life is most how to conquer inner enemies. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, Ragadvesha, Ahankara, all these, greed, wrath, anger, restlessness, craving for power, all these things, what are ego, likes and dislikes, all these inner enemies, how to conquer inner enemies is our higher problems of life, what we have to deal with. And other thing is aging and death. We don't understand in life, early life. Later on, we see how that aging, when it is slowly, it is becoming helpless condition. It's taking. I'm not able to stand. Just take what I was child. I'm going back to my childhood and birth life. I'm on the bed. We are unable to move because of the old age, infirmity, helplessness, fear, and then death. How to face the death? These are higher concerns and higher problems. Ultimate is how to attain everlasting peace, everlasting bliss, and total freedom from this nature. This is the ultimate thing that we are concerned about, the last thing in life. The ultimate problem to solve is to attain eternal peace, that peace which never goes away from me under any circumstances, any things, because I have to cross the nature and go beyond it. So, how to get that peace, bliss, and total freedom from nature? Nature can no more bind me, nor give me birth or death. Everything at my disposal. If I want, I will take birth. If I don't want, I dissolve my body. If I want, I take hundreds of births at a time. This is freedom from nature. So this state is called mukti. All you are exempted from all laws of nature. You can live within the nature or beyond the nature as you want. So this is the ultimate problem of life that we are going to solve. So this is what we saw. We have been contemplating upon. And one more thing I want to discuss perhaps in the next class is about the moral and ethics, which are another aspect of culture that we'll be able to take up in the next class. So today so far, and do pray before you take food. Millions are without food. Before you drink water, pray for all. Whatever you do, before you sleep, pray for the world welfare and world peace. All right. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Maharaj. Now we would start questions and answers. Kindly post your questions in the Zoom chat, and please keep your questions related to the topic, and we'll read that to Revered Maharaj. Maharaj, the first question came in the channel that how can we love and pray the people whom we don't know?
We know, not that we do not know. We need not know the people, but we know their suffering. In my life, I don't see television or mobile. I don't know actually what is happening. I came to know from others wars are going on here and there. And I requested, what is the position? What happened? Out of curiosity, when I heard that a war is going on, then I wanted to see, can you show me? Yesterday they showed a few things. From that I could understand whole war field. The whole war field now is before my eyes. I don't know any of them. I don't know now who is the President of US, though I'm in US, I don't know who is the President of India. Though I am Indian, I belong to India and I live in India. Yet I know the suffering of mankind. I know what suffering means. We have experienced what would be the case if I don't get water, if I don't get food, if I am driven away from my house without any position, I have to leave and run. What would be my condition? That much understanding is sufficient. You people at least see, you are able to see television and mobile and all that. Without seeing any of those, I am able to pray and feel, and I am able to weep in my heart. A part of my awareness is constantly dwelling in that. So you too will be able to do. All right?
Thank you, Maharaj. So
Any
there
other
is no
question?
more question, Maharaj, today. So thank you everyone for this wonderful and uplifting satsang. Our next satsang would be on the same topic and will be held in the month of November. We'll communicate the exact date in the WhatsApp group. Pranam Maharaj, if you kindly conclude this session.
तच्छयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. In our Ramakrishna ashrama where I live and from where we have requested all our devotees and inmates, that is ashramites, to utter Om Durge Smrita Harasi Bhitimashesh Jantoh Swastai Smrita Mati Mativa Shubham Dadasi Daridrya Dukkha Bhayaharini Katvadanya Sarvopakara Karanaya Sadardra Chitta. This is the prayer that we offer in case of emergencies for helping people and our own group or people. So this you all can chant. This is from Durga Saptashati, 4th chapter, 17th shloka. This we usually do the Durga Kavacha whenever we go. If it is not there, time is not there, we use Durga Saptashati, one of the stutis, short one. Even if there is no time, suppose we are going in vehicle and there is no time, we still use this Durga Smrita, this one shloka. And in any emergency, to feel the divine presence, to invoke divine grace and divine presence, we use this shloka. Especially when we are in out, when we went to one of the places in Nepal. It is a small, what is that place? Muktinath. We were to Muktinath, short planes, 11-seaters. They won't be controlled from below. In the valley, they take a short run and take the vehicle up. Within 11 o'clock, they have to go and land. There won't be fog. After 11, fog comes. So morning 6, they begin, and by 10:30, 11, they end. And we sat in the vehicle flight, and there is no security, this, that, and all there. It is even beggar has to go only by flight. There was no, it was in 2003. So there is no other conveyance to go. So we were in the vehicle, and as soon as we took up from the valley, on the either side it is hill. Short distance they have to take up like ordinary roads. And they took up and saw fog started forming. They have not gone, crossed the limitations of hill on either side. Now nothing they could see. Between the pilots and we people, there is only cloth screen, not like the flights that you see now. So they immediately turned their nose up. Otherwise, they collide with one of the hills. And we became horizontal. We thought, what is happening? We were becoming head down, feet up. Only belt is holding us. And then we had no other way. Oh, then I chanted these shlokas. And for almost half an hour, they had to go, move in the fog without seeing anything or knowing anything, because there is no link with the control from the lower, this one. And finally, after 40 minutes, they saw an opening from where they went out. And after 15-20 minutes, again landed in the place where we took off. So in such cases of emergency, we use this Durge Smrita Rasibhiti Mashesha Janatoho. 17th shloka of 4th chapter of Durga Saptashati. Or will everything let it go on well? Namaste to you all.